My name is Robert Oradat. I was a corporal in the Army Air Corps. Prior to going into service, I worked as a draftsman for a glass company. I was the first draftsman that they ever had, and I took my basic at Kearns, Utah, out in Salt Lake City, and a captain came there from right field, Dayton, Ohio, looking for draftsmen. So he asked me if I'd like to go to right field and be a draftsman. I said, well, I'd like to get overseas. He said, would you rather go there and be getting yourself killed? I said, well, sure. So I never gave it no more thought, because I was been in the Army long enough, they didn't ask you, they told you. And within 2 weeks' time, my orders come up to ship to right field, Dayton, Ohio. And I traveled first class. I ate in a diner, and I slept in a Pullman. And when I arrived at right field, Dayton, Ohio, they put me, they assigned me to a research laboratory on oxygen equipment. It was for high-flying aircraft. And I worked for a civilian, and I also worked with 3 other civilians on drawing boards. And there was one lady, and she was a designer. My job was to laying out fuselages of airplanes and then showing what went at each station in the way of oxygen equipment. And they had 2 drawing boards for me, and they were bolted together, and I lay out the complete fuselage, and I would work from sketches of civilian engineers. I worked with about all civilians, and they were more officers than they were enlisted men in this research laboratory. So after about Eleanor was with me the full time. We lived off the post, and so I had it real nice. I dressed first class uniform all the time and went to and from work. And after about 2 years, anybody who never was overseas had orders to go overseas. And one day a staff car drove up to the laboratory, and they took me down on the field to a meeting. And here they tried to get me a deferment. The laboratory said I was the only GI draftsman they had. Everybody else was civilians, and due to priority, they wanted to keep me. So here I was in the service for 2 years and getting a deferment from going overseas. So after the war ended in Germany, I couldn't get no more deferments, so they shipped me to Kellyfield, Texas, to take my basic training over again. And the 8th Air Force was moving from England to Okinawa, and I had orders cut where I was to fly to Okinawa, and I was to be in a headquarters squadron for the Battle of Japan. And about that time, right as I completed my basic training, the war ended in Japan. So they did send me to Sacramento, California. That was where I was to depart from to Okinawa. And they put me in an officer separation center. I helped the officers fill out their paperwork for being discharged. And so my tour of duty ended there, and I had completed 3 years of service. Being as I worked in a separation center, I filled out all my own papers for my own discharge. And so I had it about as easy, I believe, as anyone could have it. I always had an office job, and Eleanor was with me most of the time, and so I had a very good tour of duty. That about concludes my service experience.